So yeah, Energy Vampires Part 2. So, like I was talking about, you may have to get some important business taken care of the next day. Okay? And here comes a motherfucker, knowing you got to get up at 6, be somewhere by 8, and they sitting there blasting the music, okay, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning with no concern about your well-being, no concern about the sleep that you need to get. Okay? All right? Busting up pots and pans because they cooking 3-course meals at 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Talking all loud on the phone. Doing all kinds of stupid shit that they know they are doing, and they are doing on purpose, with knowing that they're trying to push your buttons and or not giving a fuck. And basically that's what it boils down to when it's all said and done, whether they have a rhyme or reason or fucking not. So now you're feeling drained, you're feeling depleted, you're feeling aggravated because you're tired. You're feeling aggravated through the whole entire situation. You're asking yourself, what in the fuck is wrong with someone that doesn't have a sense of purpose or a point in what they're doing, knowing that what they're doing is not right, not giving a fuck about what they're doing. So now you're aggravated because you may have even cussed this motherfucker out. That's energy theft. They done robbed you of your sleep. That's energy theft. Now they're on your mind, rent free or rent paid for. That's energy theft. Now you taking all of that energy into you're taking it to work with you. You're taking it when you go shopping. You're taking it when you go to somebody else's house. You're picking up the phone, calling other people, telling them about your business. You're aggravated. You're frustrated. You're cussing folks out at work. That's energy. When you make food, you're putting all that energy into the food, and the food don't even taste good or go down well. You're not digesting shit well. Your blood pressure is raising. You're holding on to food in your belly, in your gut, that's rotting in there because it should have already came through your body, but it's sitting there because it's not being digested well. That's energy. And people need to understand this shit about how spiritual warfare really fucking works, because they look at the flesh. They look at the person instead of the spirit that fucking rotten meat sack is carrying, or the spirits, because a lot of times it's more than one. That's why in the Bible they call them legions. You go check out the movie with Denzel Washington, I believe is in there. It's called Fallen. I spoke about this before. There was an entity that jumped from body to fucking body. Different bodies. And it was singing a song that was familiar to whom they were stalking. And in this case, it was Denzel Washington and whoever else that they killed. And they sang the song, "Time is on my side." Yes, it is. Watch the movie Fallen. It's not for children. It is, if you don't like, horror or that kind of shit, then don't watch it. Just take my word for it. But a lot of times, we are looking at the body when we need to test the spirit, because it will reveal itself in the same manner it did with the last person. And it's only there to fool you into thinking it's not the same spirit motherfucker following you around trying to finish off the job. That's why they call it different levels, different devils. Okay? Different levels, new devils. Because if you are not aware of what you're dealing with, you're bound to repeat certain shit. Some people have cleaned up their life. Let's say you were on substance, right? And that's an energy vampire. That's a bitch. Okay, let's say you were on substances and you cleaned up your life. You stopped doing that booger sugar. You put that alcohol, wine, beer down, or whatever the fuck you was doing, right? And now all of a sudden, you have been triggered by somebody, whether it be spiritually, physically, emotionally, okay, mentally, that made you feel the way you felt when you were on that stuff, while you were under the influence. And now, because that's the way you used to cope, you done relapsed. Honey, that is spiritual warfare. Those are whatever it was sent your way to suck on that energy, to pull on that energy, to reopen a wound that has already healed or was healing. It may still have a scab on there. And next thing you know, you've been 3 years clean, and now you've been binging for the last 3 goddamn days. Okay? Spiritual warfare. Another way that it works, which we will discuss more in part 3.